Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Not So Serious Keto video podcast, post-Christmas / end-of-year edition. Now, I had originally planned not to do an end-of-the-year podcast. I kind of thought that when I finished that, salty electrolyte drink video, that was going to be it for the end of the year. But Courtney and I recorded that on the 23rd of December, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas rolled around, and I kind of felt I had enough material for an end-of-year and post-Christmas video. So first I want to talk about Christmas and keto and how I did. I would say 75% to 80% keto. I did a pretty good job for the most part, but there were a couple of places where I thought, okay, I got to have one of my mother-in-law's Christmas cookies. And I had a bun, and there was this brie that we had that was wrapped in a phyllo dough with some, apple marmalade or something on it that I had a little bit of. For the most part, I think on Christmas Eve, I was fairly well behaved though. Just a couple of minor infractions. And then Christmas Day at my mother-in-law's house, it was not quite as good. I had like a dinner roll, and I think I had a couple of pretzels, and the dessert. That's kind of what got me. She had 4 different desserts that all looked really good, and I thought, okay, I'll take just a tiny little bit, about 2 bites worth of each. And that was enough. That was enough to knock my ketones down to 0.1. So still technically in ketosis, but kind of flirting there with being out of ketosis. The interesting thing that I've noticed as well, and whenever I have one of these flirting with going out of keto type of deals, or kind of cheating or having an off-plan day, there's always some sort of side effect. And it would be interesting to know what, in this instance, caused the side effect, which was not inflammation for me, interestingly, but rather a lot of sneezing the last couple days, kind of a runny nose and sneezing, like sneezing fits of 6, 7, 8 sneezes in a row. I used to have these all the time pre-keto, and haven't subsequent to going to keto until just the last couple of days. So yeah, you learn your lessons. It would though truly be great to be able to target what specific food or ingredient caused this sort of hay fever type of thing that's going on for me. I had mentioned last year that I'm not super big into Christmas. I think for the adults, I don't even get why we exchange gifts that much anymore. There should just be like a secret Santa or something, in my opinion, that Christmas should really be about the kids. And I guess in a way, sort of Connor and Courtney and Jaden still fall into the kids category in my mind. But for the rest of us adults, I'm not that into the exchanging of gifts. I like watching other people open their gifts, especially Colton. And as a result, what I did this year is I made my Amazon wish lists, and I got a bunch of them. I got them broken into categories. I put them all as private, because what happens in the past is basically my wife goes into my lists and she distributes them across the family. And very often what I will do with my Amazon wish lists is I will put something in there just for future reference. It's like, I don't need it now. I don't even want it. But I want to remember that it exists in case at some point I do need it or want it. And one of the examples of that was this sort of glass and plastic polisher. It's designed to get rid of little scratches and things like that. So say you made a scratch in your iPhone case or your e-reader or whatever it may be. But I saw it and it had great reviews, and I'm like, I don't need it now, but I want to remember that it exists. So it was on my wish list and wound up being a gift that my brother-in-law gave me last year. So this year I made the entire list private, and as a result, I wind up, I think, appreciating the gifts that I get a lot more, because it means people had to put some thought into it. They had to think, what do I know about Steve? What is he like? What should I get him? In a way, it can also be a little bit of a test of how well, people know you, because I got a lot of gift cards. So there's that. But on the plus side, there was a lot of stuff. It seemed like Etsy was getting a lot of business on sort of personalized sort of gifts. And that's cool, especially when somebody designs something themselves. Like Courtney designed a little what do you call those things? Like a welcome mat at the bottom of the stairs entering into my man cave that says Clem's Man Cave. Clem is my nickname. And it had Super Mario Brothers and Yoshi on there. I'm not sure if there's any other Nintendo stuff, but it's basically because Colton and I play a lot of Nintendo Switch together. So Courtney actually designed it and had it custom printed. Very cool. Love it. I mean, I love any gift created by my children for me. Just to me, that has such incredible value and sentimental value as well. I mean, I still have gifts that Connor and Courtney made for me in art class back when they were in 3rd grade. But continuing back on some of the cool gifts that I got, this one goes in the man cave bathroom. I don't know if you can see this. It's a Darth Vader on the toilet using the Force. That came from the wife. And then Connor got me this laser printed Darth Vader game controller holder. So that looks kind of cool. Got that set by the TV. Now I'm going to take a brief ad break, but when I come back, I've got some very special announcements and what I also think is sort of a kickoff to 2024. So, gifts continued. I mentioned earlier that, oh, wait a second, I forgot one of the gifts that my wife got me. This shirt. Right here. This Grandpa Rocks. Pretty cool. I also got a shirt, I think it was from Connor, and it's basically a laundry list of the things that we survived growing up in the 70s. So, being spanked with wooden spoons, drinking out of garden hoses, not having bike helmets, what else? Not wearing seat belts, lead paint, all of that, and we survived. So it's kind of a funny shirt for those of us who grew up in that era. But anyhow, Christmas Eve is at our house, Christmas Day is at my mother-in-law's, and I'd mentioned before that I felt like Christmas is for the kids. I think it's also for the eldest patriarch or matriarch in the family too. You know, kind of a, hey, we've now hit the point in our lives, you took care of us, we're going to take care of you. So there's a lot of watching my mother-in-law open her presents, and she gets to one from Courtney and she opens it up, and then there's an envelope inside the box, and she opens the envelope and it's a picture of a house. No, Courtney did not buy a house for my mother-in-law. She did, however, buy a house for herself. The offer has been accepted. The financing is all approved. Closing is on January 22nd. And it's one of those things where I'm simultaneously extraordinarily proud. I also sometimes, as a parent, question, does she fully grasp what home ownership is going to be all about, especially single? There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of chores, a lot of things like that. But I didn't want to bring any of that up, any sort of negativity or realism or anything like that. I wanted her to know how proud I was of her, and she's established enough credit at age 22 and had enough in savings and has done enough right things in her life that she was able to get a house. So very proud of her, still a little bit in shock. The next gift was from Connor and Jaden to my mother-in-law, and as she opens it up, she lifts up this little baby onesie. Can you see where this is going? Yeah, gonna be a grandpa again. So, I'm a big softie. That's pretty cool. I mean, being a grandparent just in general is so awesome. I think I've talked about this in podcasts before, that your first time through parenthood, you're busy, you don't appreciate it for what it's worth. I don't think you're ever even prepared for it. I don't think you're prepared to be a parent until you're a grandparent. That's just my belief. And I think you hit a phase, sort of empty nest, but pre-grandkids, where you wish you could do it all over again. Knowing what you know today, I wish I could do it all over again. And grandchildren let you do that. So we don't know yet if it's going to be a boy or a girl. I think the ultrasound is sometime in January. They do plan on finding out. And I don't have a strong preference. Maybe if someone said you absolutely have to make a decision, I think girl. would be cool. I mean, to have a little baby girl granddaughter, I think that would be pretty neat. But if it's a boy, it makes it a lot easier to pass toys sort of down the ladder, and I think it would give Colton a great opportunity. I think he's going to be a great big brother regardless. So it's still sort of overwhelming, to me. I didn't expect to be a grandparent the first time, almost 5 years ago. I mean, Colton's birthday, his 5th birthday, is in February 4th, in case you're thinking about getting him anything. Don't. He's already got plenty. But it still all feels very surreal, the whole thing. I don't feel like a grandparent in terms of age or health or anything like that. I still feel young. And the thought of, okay, now I'm going to have another grandchild, it's hard to put into words. And that kind of brings me to the whole end of year thing and New Year. Because I feel like very often I think a lot of people, maybe everybody, is always waiting for something. Like, oh, when this happens, then I'll do this. When life just settles down and there's not so much going on anymore, I'm going to take up whatever, this new hobby. I'm going to take up knitting. I'm going to start working out more. I'm going to vow to read a book every week. I think that's why very often people wait until a Monday to start something. Oh geez, I tell you what, next Monday, that's when I'm going to start working out. Or January 1st, new year, new me, I'm going to make some changes. And I've realized that nothing ever stabilizes. Nothing ever gets normal. There's just always change. The Stoic author Ryan Holiday wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Path. And it's true. That is life. If you wait for the obstacles to get out of the way, you're never going to make it to your destination. And so, what I would encourage all of you is, as you're thinking about the new year, what would you like to do different in the new year to better yourself? Once you figure that out, do it today. Don't wait until January 1st. Start today. Why waste 4 days between now and then, or however many it is? You can start changing your life today. Why put off exercise? Why put off learning new things? Why put off a new hobby? So for me, my big thing is going to be every day sort of challenge myself mentally. As I get older, I want to make sure that I'm maintaining some neuroplasticity and not just wiping out brain cells, but keeping them alive. It'd be great if I could grow some more. I'm not sure if that's possible, if science has proven that yet, but to that end, I want to subject myself to daily mental challenges. Whether that's playing Sudoku or a crossword puzzle or learning a new song on guitar or doing like an escape room game, whether that's in VR or we've got some in boxes where there's a series of envelopes you make and you've got like an hour between however many people, yourself, your spouse, kids, friends. Just doing those things that are slightly more difficult than my day-to-day routine to keep my brain nimble. That's going to be my thing for 2024. I already feel like I'm doing a fairly good job in terms of the physical stuff, the diet stuff, excluding Christmas and Christmas Eve. But the one thing I kind of feel that I've neglected is the mental fitness. So that's going to be my thing. Now's your turn. If you want to hit pause and think about what your thing is going to be for 2024 if you haven't already. But then let me know down in the comments below. And then go make that change, starting today. That's going to be it, though, for the rest of 2023 on Serious Keto. Unless you are a paid channel member, you will get next Wednesday's, I think that's January 3rd's, video in advance, probably tomorrow. So, but I'm done recording now for the rest of the year. And I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being a subscriber. I thank you for listening to me for the last, 15 minutes or so. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for 2023.